Welcome to The Terrible Take, a daily segment telling Steeler Nation what's on our minds. I'm Melanie Friedlander. The Steelers are off today after brutal losses to the Arizona Cardinals and the New England Patriots over a 5-day stretch. You could actually argue that the Steelers have been off the entire past week, getting embarrassed at home by two teams who were each 2-10 coming into those Acrisure Stadium games. Dropping from 7-4 to 7-6 in a week, there isn't a lot to feel good about as a Steelers fan, and the fan base has been very vocal about that. The calls for firing head coach Mike Tomlin are louder than in prior seasons, reminiscent of the demands to fire former head coach Bill Cowher after back-to-back losing seasons in 1998 and 1999, with records of 7-9 and 6-10. Back then, Ron Cook even called for Cowher to be fired in the Post-Gazette. Obviously, the Rooneys did not fire Cowher, who went on to lead the Steelers to their 5th Super Bowl victory, one for the thumb. But it took him another 5 seasons to get there. In some ways, Cowher and Tomlin are very similar. In his 15 years as the Steelers' head coach, Cowher finished with a regular season record of 149, 90-1, and win rate of 62.3%. Including this season to date, Tomlin sits at 170, 99-2, with a winning percentage almost identical at 63.3. It's the postseason where these coaches look different. Cowher's record in the playoffs is 12-9. Tomlin only has 8 wins to 9 losses, and his team hasn't won a playoff game since 2016, a 6-year drought that could likely become 7 very soon. Cowher's teams lost 4 AFC championships before finally raising the Lombardi Trophy. But the point is they made it to the conference championship. Under Tomlin, the team has only reached that level 3 times, including a Super Bowl win over the Cardinals and a loss to the Packers. Steelers fans are often called spoiled. Maybe we are. But in my opinion, the goal at the start of every single season should be a Super Bowl victory. I don't care about a non-losing record. And while I do care about bad officiating and injuries, that happens to every team, and it's simply not an excuse. You can talk about other factors, like recruiting under a lame duck head coach with 1 year left on his contract, but it's really much simpler than that. Our own Matthew Marcy said it so well in one of his posts on the site, I'm just going to quote him because I can't express it any better than he did. He said, quote, "The only question that should matter when evaluating Tomlin's future is this. Can he still lead the Steelers to a Super Bowl? If the answer is no, he has to go. If the answer is yes, then you have to keep asking questions, starting with, what would it take to put him in that position? And can somebody else do it easier, sooner, more often?" Minkah Fitzpatrick, one of the hardest working and most valuable players on the team, issued what I consider a very damning indictment on the team's culture after the loss to the Patriots, making it clear that not every player approaches these games with the same effort and dedication. And that's a problem that doesn't get fixed in a week. It can, however, be changed over an off-season. Mike Tomlin isn't getting fired this week. Unlike a lot of fans, I'm not even sure that's the right move at any point. Cowher found a way forward from a few disastrous seasons, so it's not impossible. And the Steelers, however woeful their last 2 performances were, have not yet been eliminated from the playoffs. And so the plan for now is 1 game at a time. But when the season is over, Tomlin must find a way to change course. Otherwise, the 2024 season won't look any different unless it's under a different head coach. That's my take. You can follow me on Twitter @GirlSurgeon. Check out The Terrible Take every day at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Follow us on SteelersDepot.com. And check out The Terrible Podcast with Dave Bryan and Alex Kozora every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.